Hello everyone and welcome to World of Yamaha, except it sort of isn't. Well, apart from every Yamaha product imaginable, it also has the Kymco brand on its floor. That's not new news, but what is new to World of Yamaha is this brand. So now it's the World of Yamaha and Kymco and Indian. It's not quite as catchy anymore, is it? Still, the Indian brand is good news, and to celebrate, the World of Yamaha people invited a whole lot of journalists to a brand launch, where they said there would be free food, so I immediately RSVP'd yes. They also said we could spend 2 days riding around on the bikes, which was a nice little bonus. Indian is America's oldest motorcycle brand, with its first factory spanner being swung in 1901, 2 years before the Milwaukee boys. It also took a bit of a break from making motorcycles, from 1953 until 2011, when the name was revived by its new owners, the $7 billion Polaris Incorporated. And now, in South Africa, it's being run by one of SA's biggest companies, Bidvest. So this is very much a big boy game. Currently, there are 7 models in the lineup, some new to us and some we've seen before. So let's see what's what. We start with the Scout, the sort of baby entry-level model of Indian, although everything is relative. For example, the so-called entry-level Scout starts at a price of 325,000 Rand. Mind you, it's not necessarily that baby either. The motor is a liquid-cooled 1133cc V-twin, classily finished with trimming that makes it look like something from a posh Mississippi riverboat. It's simple, but ever so lively and joyful, with a motor that is revvy and determined. In fact, as we have said before in the show, it's impossible to be unhappy when riding a Scout, and we stand by that. Like just about everything produced in the United States of America, all Indian motorcycles are customizable. Some even leave the factory pre-customized. Take this, the Scout Bobber 20. It features all the joys of the ordinary Scout, but with a few things added and a few things chopped off. The mudguards, or as they say in America, fenders, all shortened for a more daredevil look, with classical spoked wheels and a single seat, because bobber riders fly solo. The 20 version also has those tall ape hanger handlebars for that real authentic American look. The price of all this factory customizing coolness is an extra 25,000 Rand to round it off at 350,000 Rand. The Chief Vintage adds a bit of classical touring classiness to the lineup, featuring sweeping mudguards, saddlebags with tassels, and enough chrome to blind your enemies. It also features classical round headlights, classical dials, and a simple windscreen big enough to halt whole climates. The motor is an ornate 1811cc air-cooled V-twin that's surprisingly revvy and fun, adding a strange sort of sporty dimension to an otherwise easy-going cruiser. Although, if we're going to throw sportiness into the mix, we need to consider the flat tracker-based FTR 1200. More so, the new R-Carbon model hitting showrooms at 430,000 Rands worth of riding naughtiness. Seriously, this motorcycle's whole purpose in life is good-hearted mischief and fun. Just looking at it gives us that giggly feeling of a child about to play a prank on the headmaster. It features a 1203cc liquid-cooled V-twin motor pushing 120 horsepower and 118 Nm of torque, aided by a host of all the modern electrics including cornering traction control and Öhlins suspension. And of course, the new carbon fiber finish completes the deal. It'll meet you after school in the detention room. New to SA is the Chief, a sort of mid-range of the Indian brand. The Chief name isn't new, but that Thunderstroke 116 motor is. 1900 cc's of air-cooled V-twin Thunder, pushing an earthquake-ing 162 Nm of torque. While the Indian model lineup has traditionally featured motors that are revier than the average American twin, the 116 is all about the low rev grunt, threatening to roll up the tar underneath you like a Roadrunner cartoon. But it's not all old school horse and cart tech. The Chief is littered with modern gadgetry, all delightfully hidden under a layer of classic class. The dash, for example, is a full-color TFT touchscreen, but shaped as though it's an old-school analog clock of yesteryear. The upside of that torquey motor combined with the technology and a low seat height makes it not only a theatrical experience, but also an incredibly easy ride. All this for a price starting at 500,000 Rand. Then again, for 540,000 Rand, you can again do the factory customizing thing by buying the Chief Bobber. Like the Scout Bobber, this Chief has the sawed-off mudguards, wire wheels, and the ape hanger bars. This particular bike was also fitted with a weather-defined screen for better long distancing. Then we have the latest addition to the Indian family that can not only carve out the miles, but do it quickly too. It's the Challenger, Indian's version of a fixed-faring long-distance cruiser. Apart from the blacked-out bad boy looks, the highlights include that new Power Plus liquid-cooled 1768cc motor that hammers out a planet-stopping 178 Nm of torque. Beyond torque, looks and comfort, the Challenger is shot with luxuries such as this touchscreen that enables music from the speakers, navigation, phone connectivity, and even the option of Apple CarPlay for iPhone users. The safety tech includes cornering traction control, something you could genuinely feel as you tip it into a bend and the motor becomes calmer and smoother. The Challenger surely packs a punch in the touring market, but then it will also pack a similar punch in your wallet, setting the buyer back by 750,000 Rand. Yeah, so what we've seen today is not exactly on the cheap side. But this is the way the lords at Polaris have set Indian up. They didn't attempt to attack Harley-Davidson head on, but rather aimed to fly over them. This is where we step away from the objectivity of specs and numbers and look at it through the rose-tinted glasses of soul and feel. And it's here that Indian thrives. They are stylish, classy, and well made, right down to the finest details. And it gives the rider that same feeling of sophistication, class, and of course, theatre. And now Indian has a new home with Bidvest, and World of Yamaha, and Kimco, and Indian. Catchy or not, it sounds fun.